Okay, well, I haven't quite figured out if this is the font I'm going to go with, but I did want to show you guys Montserrat. It's on Font Squirrel. Make sure you're actually on the Font Squirrel website. It's always good to look and make sure the URL is making sense because you don't want to go to some weird website and download a virus. And then so you can download the OTF here, but Montserrat is a nice one. It's a serif font, or sans serif, sorry, sans serif font. And if you can see, as you can see, like there's a lot of options with this font, and that's why I like it so much. There's literally like, I don't even know how many are here, right here. But basically you have medium, lights, italics. I mean, not all of them are great, but like it's a pretty good font really for you. So I just wanted to show you that. There might be some, I might already had that one. So I'm just gonna have to go through in my downloads. What? Yeah, I don't know what this is all about, why this is happening, but some of them might not work as well as others. And I guess I probably don't need to like install all of these, but I think I'm just going to go ahead and do it because I've used this font before, and I do like having a lot of options with fonts. So I just wanted to show you this font because it's kind of a nice one for, I've used it. I usually use it for, I've used it on quite a few projects. Okay, so anyway, I'll continue this video in a minute. Okay, so I actually tried the Mongoose and I decided I probably would want to go with something that's a little bit more condensed looking. So I found this font called Mongoose off of Adobe Fonts, and it actually comes in a lot of different styles as well, like medium, medium italic, bold, bold italic, black, black italic. Like it has a lot of different, it has a thin. So it's kind of nice that it has so many options, and it is actually rather condensed looking, which is kind of what I was going for. This is actually the bold, but I wonder how the regular would look. Or even the light. You don't want to go too light with your fonts. It's not too bad. I almost want to make this a little bit bigger. Make that kind of the centerpiece of the design. Plus this A is really difficult to read. Like, I don't know if I can use this font just because the A is so problematic. I mean, I could go in and potentially tweak it because it seems to be really the only letter that's like, or letter that is, let's see, that's really seems like it's, because that little space in there, when it gets small enough, that's just going to fill in. Your eye is just going to fill that in, and it's just going to look like a blob. So, I mean, it is possible I could maybe use like an ellipse and then fill it in with white by double-clicking on the fill color, and then I can just put 0 in here because white is 0, 0, 0, 0, and CMYK, and then I can, or you can use your swatches panel, either way. And then I guess I could try twisting this and just kind of, I don't know, I mean, maybe something like that would actually be better. I mean, for legibility, that might actually work a little bit better than what they had, because I can imagine that becoming an issue. So if I click on that shape and then click on this, I can group it, or I'm not going to do that right now. I'm actually just going to leave it. Hopefully I don't forget that what did I just do? Oh, I feel like I just am goofing this up here. I don't need this transform open. I'm going to kind of have my workspace is just kind of goofed up now. I don't know what I just did, but oops, I'll do Command 0 now. All right, so I mean, this isn't looking too bad. One thing I'm noticing about this though, that is kind of, it is technically And it's hard to tell because this stuff is in here and I just need to get it out of here. And I probably should just try to center this to really get a good look at it. And it's not like InDesign where you can push W and you can kind of get rid of the gray so you can look at your design. Like in Illustrator, you don't have that option. So sometimes it's hard to get a really good look at your logo. But so if I do that, let's see, I just forgot about that. Maybe I should group it so that I don't do that. So I'll just do object group. So I push shift and I have both the text box and the ellipse shape selected. And then if I do object group, I can group these together. So Command 0, Command plus to zoom in. I'm just taking a closer look at Command minus. I just want to take a little bit closer look at my logo without too many distractions on the screen. This R is a little weird too because it looks so much like the N. The two together just are bothering me. But, you know, this might be a case of two. Oops. Sometimes this happens and just click back to get rid of that. But this might be a case of like maybe everything should be uppercase. It might just work better that way. Maybe at should be lowercase just to kind of not have so much. I don't know if that looks weird or not. Oops. Go back to my text tool. Maybe I'll make that capital again. Yeah, I mean, that's looking all right. I don't want there to be too much space in between these two lines, but at the same time, I don't want the G hitting the R or anything. Like I keep on doing this. So let's go back to the text tool. And I'm actually going to open up my character. Well, I have my character box here. I'm going to change the lighting. So it's at, and you can also go up here. It's at 20 right now, but oops, no, that's the size. Okay, it's at 21. So if we make it maybe 22 or 23, 22 might be a little too close. I don't know if I actually did anything to help that out at all. And one thing I'm noticing too is like, even though this is technically centered, it almost looks like this lower line is off to the right slightly. So, I mean, if I want to fix that, I can. I keep on doing that. So go to, with your text tool, bring your cursor in, and you can either add just like a space. And I feel like that actually helps make it look a little bit more centered because I just felt like it looked weird. So adding that space in kind of helped to center these two up, I feel like, visually anyway. Even though technically they were centered. Sometimes technically centered and visually centered are they're two different things. So you have to kind of get used to thinking of it that way. So one thing I think we're going to try to do is we are going to work with this shape now. I think I'm going to take the strokes off for now. I do like the idea of having a white line in between them, but I'll show you how I'll go about doing that. We're going to make this 100% and take that stroke off of this. So I just took the text, I took the stroke off of this by clicking none, making sure I click on the stroke or outline color, click on none, and then if I click on this shape, make sure that I'm on the stroke color. If I'm on this color, just click here to get the stroke color and then put that on none as well. It doesn't look like much when you do it like this. It just looks kind of maybe a little, it actually doesn't look terrible, but so if we do like a shift, hold down shift, and we can get both of these selected. I'm going to just go Command C, Command V, and put this off to the side so that I have it saved, sort of, in so to speak. And actually, I have not saved my file yet, so that's probably a good thing to do. So File, Save. I'm going to put it in my Documents folder. It's a good idea to put things in your Documents folder. Don't save things to your desktop because when your computer crashes, your desktop will be the first thing to go. So if your computer crashes, definitely anything you've kept on your desktop will be gone for the most part. Inside of your documents is a more secure place to put things. So let's see, this is graphic design 350. So we have our other projects in here. So I'm actually going to make a new folder called logo. I'm just going to logo project create, and then something, I don't know. Or actually, I'm not going to name it that because okay, graphic design department logo. That's what I'll name it. And we want the AI file, which is the native file out of Illustrator. And then we'll just push save. And then we'll push OK. So now at least we have that saved and we have it in the right spot. It's named correctly. You can see your name up here in the tab window, basically. So we've made both of these opaque. We've taken off the stroke or the outline color. And this is kind of where we can use our Pathfinder tool. If you don't have the Pathfinder tool open, it's really easy to find it under Window. Window is a great place to go to find things, basically. And so click on Pathfinder here. Mine's already open and you can see that because it has the checkbox. You know, checkbox is open. The checkbox shows you what you have open as far as panels go. So if I want to work with these shapes, I think what I'm going to start doing first and foremost is just doing Command-C, Command-V, and then I'm going to make it just a little bit bigger. And I'm going to kind of center. And I think maybe it might help if I made this a different color because it's just hard to see. I'm going to put this below you can do Object, Arrange, Send to Back. I actually use the shortcut command there, which is Shift, Command, and then the left square bracket. So here's that, and you'll kind of see what I'm doing here. And I'm going to use the same one for this upper box, basically. Object, Arrange, Send to Back. And I do want to make sure that these are perfectly centered, so I'm going to use the alignment tool, or you can use this tab as well. So click and drag, make sure you have both of these squares selected, vertically align, and we actually want to do, or wait, is that right? Horizontally align. So you're aligning through the horizontal center, and then we'll do it this way too, just to make sure that they are perfect. I'm going to do the same thing to this one, and then all of them, I will select all of them by clicking and dragging and making sure all of them are selected, and then I'm going to do this one again just to make sure everything's perfect. And from here we will continue to work on this. I'm just going to take a little bit of a break, and we're coming up on 15 minutes and I don't really want to get started on the next section until I have a bigger chunk of time. So